News and notes.
Alrighty, our news and notes this week is sponsored by Shortboxed, the easiest and safest way to buy and sell graded comic books. You can download the Shortboxed app on iOS and Android. And if you could, use our code OBP15 at checkout for $15 off your first order. That is OBP15 at checkout. And thank you so much, Shortboxed, for sponsoring our news and notes.
Oscar, Bravo, Papa, 15.
That's right. Already off the top here, we have Marvel Studios is developing a live-action Wonder Man series. Marvel Studios has started working on a live-action Wonder Man series with Shang-Chi director Dustin Daniel Cretton developing it as a producer, and Andrew Guest, who was the head writer and executive producer on Hawkeye, as also the same titles over there on the Wonder Man series. So, Aaron, before we go into a little bit of Simon Williams' backstory, do you know anything about this character, Wonder Man? Any familiarity whatsoever?
Actually, yes. Surprisingly, I think I know a few things.
Okay.
Wonder Man was actually the neural net template for Vision.
That's right. Hey, there's one. Attaboy.
And there's also this weird love triangle between Scarlet Witch, because after I think Vision disappeared or died, Scarlet Witch and Wonder Man actually got together at one point, didn't they?
That's right. Yeah, I here very recently. I think during the Vision run by Tom King, at that point, Scarlet Witch had begun possibly dating Wonder Man, which is weird because, again, like you had just said, Wonder Man is kind of the personality. And how did you put it there? Kind of the artificial...
The template.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, essentially like the template for who Vision eventually became. And yeah, so you're absolutely right. And to kind of go into it more specifically, Wonder Man's real name, of course, is Simon Williams. And he is the son of a wealthy industrialist whose company fails on hard times due to a competition with Tony Stark's Stark Industries. As a result, Williams accepts an offer from the villain Baron Zemo that gives him ionic superpowers, including super strength and durability. After fighting the Avengers several times, Wonder Man ultimately joins their ranks. So, you know, the old, what do they call that? Old heel turn, as they say back in the day. You know, Scarlet Witch, again, very similarly has done a similar thing. Along with her brother Quicksilver and their weird incestuous love that they have for each other at the beginning of their creation. Scarlet Witch has got a weird backstory. Let's just say that. So this is cool. A lot of people don't know this because it was left on the cutting room floor, but Nathan Fillion actually played the character in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in a deleted scene. So there was going to be a scene in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 where essentially he shows up and it's like a movie trailer for a movie that Simon Williams is starring in, because Simon Williams is also an actor in Hollywood. That's kind of like his like personality in the comics, is that while being a superhero and while also being on the Avengers for a long time, he was a core member of the Avengers through the late 70s, early 80s, or I would say even through the entire 80s. He's also like trying to make it in Hollywood as well. It's kind of his struggle. So, and I think I was going to say also in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, there's also like a couple movie posters when you see Missouri before it gets consumed by Ego. You see like movie posters at a movie theater, and a bunch of them are like Nathan Fillion's, Simon Williams, and a bunch of different movies. So I just thought that was really funny.
I was going to ask, they've recently announced the Thunderbolts, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
So, and that has to do with Baron Zemo, which means that this could very much tie into that as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I could definitely see us getting... I don't know. The Thunderbolts movie / series has kind of been in the works for a while. They kind of had a little bit more of a concrete announcement last week, and we haven't talked about it on the show because it all still is very taboo and we don't really know exactly what's going on. But I could very much see them doing something with Wonder Man first, and then have him eventually join the Thunderbolts, and then making that heel turn like we were talking about earlier, where he eventually joins the Avengers and becomes a core member. I could definitely see that as a real possibility. So
feel free to give me a little bit of credit for how much knowledge I have on Wonder Man.
Aaron's very proud of himself, everybody. He's very, you know what? Very impressive. Very impressive.
I got the shoulder shrugs going on right now. I feel very confident.
All right. Well, Aaron, while you got all that confidence going, why don't you go and take us into our next bit of news here? Because this is kind of as we like to call here on the show, a very Aaron-specific piece of news.
Yes. So Inside Baseball, Neill Blomkamp is one of my favorite... And this is my first time actually, I think, using Inside Baseball as a term. That's normally Chris's. So
we're just taking things from each other.
Yeah. We're finishing each other's
sandwiches.
Boom. Got it.
That's what I was going to say.
So Neill Blomkamp is actually one of my favorite directors. Okay. He, Elysium, District 9.
Chappie.
Damn it. What was the other one? Chappie. Yes.
Chappie.
Yes. Chappie. Number one gangster. I really love Neill
Sweetie
Blomkamp and the
man's
fact that a lot of
coming.
the sweet man, so fucking good. Anyways, Neill Blomkamp is set to direct the Gran Turismo film, which is coming out in 23. So Sony Pictures has confirmed that a Gran Turismo film is in development, and that District 9 director Neill Blomkamp will helmet. It was also revealed that the movie will be released on August 11th, 2023. When it comes to that story, Sony Pictures confirmed that it will be based on actual events. The film is the ultimate wish fulfillment tale of a teenage Gran Turismo player whose gaming skills won a series of Nissan competitions to become an actual professional race car driver. I'm not saying that this could be his worst movie ever, because who actually gives a crap about Gran Turismo? But you know what?
Oh man,
Maybe somehow he'll make it interesting. Maybe they'll Last Starfighter the hell out of this thing
that's
and
what it
make it
sounds
really
like.
cool.
Sounds like
You
a
know,
modern Last Starfighter.
yeah. So we'll see. Maybe he's got a drive for his life or something. We'll see. Neill Blomkamp is one of those guys that can really direct anything and make it interesting and kind of put his own twist on it. And he's a very visual storyteller.
Mhm.
He's also there is a lot of narration in most of his movies, but again, I'm really curious to see. I don't think. I'll wait for the trailer. I'll just leave it at that. So, Chris, next news.
Yeah.
Next.
Well, I just want to say, I want to ask you before we move on here. What were your thoughts of Chappie? Were you a fan of that movie? Because it's very polarizing in the Blumkamp fandom. Some people love it. Some people think it's another classic by him. What are your thoughts, Aaron?
I actually love it. It's kind of exactly what I was hoping for from him. Following, I want to say, District 9 and Elite. I want to say Chappie came out after
It
Elysium,
did.
which was with
Mhm.
Matt Damon, and it was, again, it's almost a perfect timeline that he's creating, and I'm just waiting for, at some point, the aliens to come back from the ones from District 9. So maybe that'll happen. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it'll happen in Gran Turismo, but I doubt it.
Imagine that in
I
credit
did.
scene.
I did like Chappie. No, I really did. It was actually hard to watch at certain times.
So I would love to see an end credit scene at the end of Gran Turismo where this teenage boy who eventually races his way to the top in the Nissan competitions, a armored up Matt Damon, the guy who turns into an alien in District 9, all show up on screen and go, "Hey, let's team up for a Blomkamp universe." Let's what like basically the end credit scenes for Morbius, like just that with all of the different characters from all of Blomkamp's films.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Alrighty, well, let's go into our last bit of news here. We've got Lady Gaga is in talks to play Harley Quinn in the Todd Phillips
Rah,
Joker
rah,
sequel, which is also apparently a musical question mark. So last week, Todd Phillips revealed that he has completed the script for the Joker sequel, Joker Folie à Deux, and also shared a photo of actor Joaquin Phoenix reading it. It is now being reported that Lady Gaga is in talks to take on the role of Harley Quinn in that sequel. So, according to the report, if she takes this mysterious role, she will be taking on the role of Harley Quinn, which is not hard to imagine. Her inclusion also fits the title of the movie, which again is Folie à Deux, which means it's essentially the layman's term for a shared delusional disorder, which again, going back to the origin of Harley Quinn, Harleen Quinzel, and her attachment to the Joker, and they're very much. I'm trying to think of a respectful way to describe their relationship. It's very
They're
codependent.
crazy.
Yeah,
They're
yeah. I mean,
crazy.
you could say they're crazy. That's one way to put it. But yeah, I'd say codependent is probably the most politically correct way to say it. The report goes on to point out that the new Quinn exists different from the DC universe's Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, which of course it does or is, excuse me. And then, oh yeah, by the way, we should mention that they're promoting this as eventually going to be a musical. So, Aaron, initial thoughts on A, Lady Gaga taking on the role of Harley Quinn, and then B, I know you're famously kind of like well, I was going to say you're kind of against musicals, but that's not correct. You're just against Grease, which is kind of like really weird to me. But what are your thoughts overall on this news? It's weird, right? How do you respond to this?
I have no idea what to say to the idea that the Joker 2
A
is
movie that shouldn't be happening.
a movie that nobody asked for, is a. I I just have no idea how this is going to happen. Like how like this, they're messing with us.
I think this is some kind of long form April Fool's joke. Like they missed their mark
This
in
is
April. So
yeah, this is a joke. The Ashton Kutcher is going to come out and be like, "Gotcha."
yeah,
You
you
know,
just got punked.
you just got punked.
I will say, and on a serious note, I'm totally fine with Lady Gaga playing this version of Harley Quinn. She's a
Absolutely.
great actor. She's done it many a times, most recently here in Gucci, or the House of Gucci, whatever it was called. And then she was great in A Star Is Born. I think she might have even possibly won an Academy, or at least was nominated. So she's a
You know what?
great actor.
That movie. I don't want. I cried.
I did too.
It was.
Actually,
I know it's a remake. I know it's a
yeah,
remake,
it's like the fourth
but
remake.
why the ending? That's
Right. They had to change it up.
why.
You know, the only reason why I have a golden doodle right now, so everyone, for the people who are just now realizing, I have a golden doodle. His name's Toby. The only reason why I have a
Toby.
golden doodle is because of that movie. My then girlfriend and I were watching the film A Star Is Born. We had our heart set on an Australian Shepherd, and then we watched A Star Is Born. Of course, Bradley Cooper's character has a golden doodle in that film. And then that night, my then girlfriend, she was like, "We have to get a golden doodle." We like her mind. She wasn't considering a golden doodle, and then officially she wanted one more than anything. So, thank you so much, Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, for that. I'm very happy that I got Toby. So, Aaron, I think that'll do it for our news and notes. Unless you have anything to add about the Joker.
No.
Okay. All righty. Well, that'll do it for our news and notes. Thanks again to Shortboxed. Once again, OBP15 at checkout. Make sure you check that out. So, Aaron, let's go ahead and get into our main topic this week, which is, of course, is reviewing Lightyear. Before we get over to that review, though, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we will be right back.